All right, back at it again. I'm Chris Shanafel, and got a very special guest with us this afternoon as we get to learn more about the Chicago Bears' new head coach, Matt Nagy, the former offensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs, former Bears defensive back, and my co-host, DJ Moore. We were on live last night talking a little bit about it, and here I am now talking more about the new head coach of the Chicago Bears with another former Chicago Bear. He was a sixth-round draft pick for the Chicago Bears back in 2002. Wide receiver out of the University of Delaware. This was Matt Nagy's go-to guy at the University of Delaware. He's wide receiver Jamin Elliott. And Jamin, we really appreciate you taking some time this afternoon to join the show. How excited are you for your ex-teammate?
Man, I'm through the roof, man. I'm just so proud of him, man, because I've seen kind of, his rise, his fast rise up from where he started, man, to where he is today. And man, when I say I couldn't be more proud, man, of anybody, especially him, man. I'm just super proud of him, man, for just putting in the work and finally getting to do what he loves to do. And he's definitely going to do well, man. And I think you guys up in Chicago, man, are going to be pleasantly surprised by what you get.
Is this something you've seen coming, back, 10, 15 years ago as a teammate of his? Is this something that you've seen coming, that he would have a coaching background at some point in his career? And, did you know that, maybe not necessarily the NFL, but did you know that he would be a successful coach at whatever level it would be?
Absolutely, man. Like, I saw the qualities, man, back in our Delaware days, man. He was always a guy who always had a grasp on everything. You know what I mean? And Nagy, like I said, he was a leader of our football team. He always was that guy, like I said, that always wanted to know everything and always wanted to, have his hands in everything. But one thing about him, man, he's always been a leader, man, no matter where he's been. On our University of Delaware team, he was a leader. Even when I had the opportunity to go there and play one season with him with arena football with the Georgia Force, he took me on his wing as a leader. He was the leader of that team and went to a couple Arena Bowl championships. So the kid is competitive, man, and he always had that leadership quality and those attributes, man. So if anybody were to become head coach, it was going to be Nagy because he had those qualities, man. So absolutely, I saw some a little bit of it when he was in school, but definitely didn't think he was going to get to the point where he would be an NFL head coach. But he's here now. Now you got to seize the day.
Yeah, no doubt about that. How important do you think it is, or how much do you think went into the thought process for the Bears in bringing in Matt Nagy, seeing as he was a former quarterback himself, and they put in a lot in Mitch Trubisky, trading up one pick from number 3 overall to number 2 overall and grabbing him, and obviously now a lot of stories are coming out how Matt Nagy was really high on Mitchell Trubisky in last year's draft process. I spent a lot of time with him and was able to keep in contact with Trubisky throughout the season.
Yeah, I think with Nagy, man, I think he was in Kansas City, but he had a pulse on what was going on around the league. You know what I mean? And he always had an ear out for different guys, and it's obvious that he's kept his eye on Mitch. And, for them to match up and to kind of be, that pair now where Nagy's going to be that guy that takes Mitch to the next level. I mean, because you got to think about him. He's been a quarterback and he knows the position very well. Like I say, this guy's a champion and a winner. Like in high school, this guy threw for almost 8,500 yards in high school, went to state championships, came to the University of Delaware, took us to the national semis, went to the Arena Football League as a quarterback, went to the Arena Bowl championship. So this guy knows how to play the position, man. And I definitely think it was a fast rise to get to where he is. But when you're good at what you do, good things tend to happen for you, man. So he's gonna be that guy, and I guarantee you, mark my words, man, he'll be coach of the year within 3 years.
Wow. High praise from his former teammate at the University of Delaware and former AFL teammate as well. Jamin Elliott chatting with us, talking about the new Bears head coach, his former teammate Matt Nagy, the officially the new head man over with the Chicago Bears. And Jamin.
It's all good.
Andy Reid, very highly respected, has been in the NFL coaching for a very long time, has had a number of assistants and fellow coordinators go on and be head coaches in the NFL and have a lot of success. John Harbaugh, Ron Rivera, Doug Peterson, to name a few. Andy Reid has been on record saying that Matt Nagy is the most impressive and the most coach-ready coach that he's had on his staff. That's pretty high praise. What do you think about that?
That's definitely high praise from a man who knows coaches. You know what I mean? I think with Nagy, he's definitely gonna have some growing pains coming in. I mean, with any new position, man, there's gonna be some bumps along the road, man. And but I think he's got the moxie for it, man. Like I say, honestly, I play with a lot of quarterbacks, man, and I've been around a lot of guys. The one guy that he reminds me of the most is probably Tom Brady. When it comes to personality wise, not necessarily on the level of player as Tom Brady, but personality wise, where when I say he's fiery, to kind of get on guys when they're not doing what they're supposed to do, but he'll love on you at the same time if you're doing what you are supposed to do. So he's that guy that like I say, I told someone before, he has an infectious personality where guys want to be around him and want to do well for him because he expect the person who's cooking the food in the dining hall up to the owner of the Bears. You know what I mean? So for him, it's just he's always the even keel person, and he won't get too high or too low. But like I said, he's not afraid to kind of get on you when he needs to. But he knows how to taper it back when he has to. So man, I think he's gonna do awesome, man. And like I say, give him a little time. He's gonna hit a couple bumps in the road. And I know the fans up in Chicago are hungry, man. They want to win now. Everybody wants to win now. But I guarantee if you get this guy a little bit of time, he knows football, man, and he'll get you guys back on the right track for sure.
Jamin, I'm not exactly sure how much you've been able to pay attention to the Chicago Bears or watch them at least, last year under the new quarterback, Mitch Trubisky. But there's been a lot of comparisons between Trubisky and Alex Smith. And Matt Nagy on a radio interview yesterday, I believe, with ESPN 1000 here in Chicago, even he said there are some comparisons and there's some qualities that the two do share at the quarterback position. Looking at some of the younger pieces that the Bears do have, though, including Trubisky, they have a running back named Tariq Cohen. You're probably familiar with him in that North Carolina area, coming from North Carolina A&T. He's looked at as a guy that could be more of a gadget player. A lot of fans, including myself, really want to see him more in the slot and see what he could do as a slot receiver. Didn't see too much of that this past year, but he's a guy that, for some reason, I'm not sure it's smart or not, that a lot of people are making comparisons to possibly having a Tyreek Hill type of jump next year under Matt Nagy, a former offense coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs. So there's where the Tyreek Hill comparison comes in. Second round pick, Adam Shaheen, another small school tight end, shows great size, and towards the end of the season showed some promise. Left Bears fans feeling pretty good in that pick, I think. And then obviously there's the Travis Kelce connection. I'm not so sure. Maybe Bears fans are going a little too far with these comparisons. But what do you like out of the young talent that the Bears have and the young talent that Matt Nagy has to work with on the offensive side of the ball?
I think once Nagy gets to Hallis Hall and he gets the feel for the roster, I'm sure he looked over the roster and kind of evaluated some of the talent that's there. He's going to make a decision as far as the guys that's going to fit the type of system that he wants to run. And I got a feeling, he's been under Andy Reid his entire career. You know what I mean? So I'm sure you'll get a lot of those influences and from his play calling from the Andy Reid tree. But he has his own spin of things. And he has his own way of wanting to do things. And I think whatever personnel that he chooses to have and whatever personnel he chooses to keep there, I think he's going to work with them and put those guys in the best position win, regardless regardless of the play. He's going to make sure that whatever play that they're in, he's going to put those guys in the position to win. I think you're going to see a lot of motion from him and how he calls plays, because that motion actually helps guys get open. So it's not just to kind of determine what coverage is. It's actually to get those guys in a better position to make a better play, or to get them in a better position to get open. So I think Chicago has definitely they continue to build a strong nucleus there, man, with Trubisky and the Cohen kid who's played well last year, Speed kid. I'm not too familiar with their roster as far as like the full roster, but I know there's some pieces there, man, that he can work with, man, and he'll definitely put him in a position to be successful.
Jamin, they're in a dire need of wide receivers. I'm sure you know that at least. What are the chances Matt Nagy reaches out to you to see if you can still put the pads on?
I don't know about that, man. I feel pretty good, but I'll leave that for the young guys, man. I think once he gets some guys in there that can stay healthy for the most part, because I know there's some guys that's been injury ridden there. Once he get a consistent group of guys that can stay healthy and that can be targets for Trubisky, I think the offense you're gonna see the offense jump leaps with that. But if you have no receivers to throw to, then you can't be as an effective quarterback that you need to be. So I know he'll get some guys in there, and draft to come around in free agency. He'll see a couple guys that may fit his system, and hopefully some of those guys are available. He'll bring them in, create some competition, and we'll see how it goes from there.
Have you been able to chat with Nick? I know it's been a very busy time with him with the playoffs, and then obviously the quick interview with the Chicago Bears, and now the quick announcement of him being the new head coach of the Chicago Bears. Have you been able to chat with him? And if not, what advice would you give him, when it comes to just the city of Chicago and being with this organization and what the fan base brings to the team?
So I haven't talked to him yet. Our college coach actually passed away, Coach Tubby Raymond, Hall of Fame coach. He just passed away recently. His funeral, they're having a homegoing service for him on this Friday. Nagy just got named, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make Coach Raymond's homegoing service. But I was going to speak with him then when he got there. But I'll let everything die down a little bit, let the dust settle a little bit, and I'll reach out to him and give him a call. But the biggest piece of advice I would give is, you got some of the world's most passionate fan base, man, and they love your team, and he has to be prepared for the storm, man. He has to stay even keel no matter what. They're gonna love you when you're doing well. Be prepared for the firestorm, because they will get on you. So one thing I would tell him, just kill self. The same way he was in the huddle when he came in and we had a big drive. He was just cool, calm, and collected. Be that same person, man. Don't read any press clippings or news clippings. Stay away from that part, and just do your job, man. Do what you know how to do best. That's what I would tell him.
And final question for you, Jamin. Really appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule to chat with us. And that is, and you talked a little bit about it, comparing his personality to like Tom Brady's.
Right.
If you could dive in a little bit more into that. I mean, a lot of people here in Chicago, we've seen a little bit of how Matt Nagy could talk to the press, but again, it was an opening press conference. Everything's going to be positive in an opening press conference. He's the new head coach of the Chicago Bears, so a lot of people came away impressed, including myself. I did like how he answered some of the questions, very thoughtful, and really spoke the truth. I mean, you heard it. He took full responsibility of calling every single offensive play in that Kansas City Chiefs Tennessee Titans game, in which the Chiefs let an 18-point lead go away in the second half. He took full responsibility of that, which was really nice and refreshing as a Chicago Bears fan to see and hear. Now, if you were to go onto YouTube and look up like Matt Nagy AFL highlights or anything like that, you see the emotion he plays with, and you see the emotions on the sideline that he shows.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit more about the personality and the man that the Chicago Bears are getting as their new head coach.
Well, I mean, when I say you're getting just a guy, man. He's going to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, one thing he won't do is sugarcoat. I mean, he's going to give it to you straight like it needs to be. And he won't back down from anything. So I just think, with him, Brady in the sense that when you see Brady on the field, you see him on the sideline. I mean, he's on his guys. He's yelling at his guys because he expects greatness from everybody. You know what I mean? And everybody is on one accord. And Nagy's the same way. And I'm just speaking from a teammate perspective. You know what I mean? Because I obviously I never played with him as one of his players, but you know, as a teammate perspective and just being in the fire with him, I just know that you know he'll get on you. Like if you're not doing what you need to do, he'll get on you. But like I say, he will. He's just that guy that everybody wants to be around, man, and everybody respects because he's honest and he's super competitive. And you're gonna see this come out. You'll see this come out in his play calling. You'll see this come out in everything he does, man. He's super competitive, man. So that's why I gave the comparison with Tom Brady because Tom is competitive on the field, but he loves his guys off the field, and everybody's a team. And now you bring that same aspect to Chicago, man. So you can iron this guy who's competitive and he's up for the challenge for sure.
Well, we've already heard some high praise from Andy Reid, and now we've got some more high praise from his former college and pro teammate, Jamin Elliott, wide receiver, with some Chicago ties as well, being a Chicago Bears draft pick back in 2002. You know, Jamin, one last question. I mean, how would you describe your time here in Chicago, man? I mean, did you enjoy? I know you didn't spend too much time here, but draft day, tell us about it. You know, when you got that call that you were going to be a Chicago Bear.
Yeah, man. I remember. Well, first of all, I love my time in Chicago, man. Like, Chicago is a beautiful city. I mean, I lived up in not Lake. I was right next to Lake Forest. It was not Gurney, but it was Waukegan. I lived up in Waukegan, and you know, I had my with Adrian Peterson and you know, Alex Brown and Mark Colombo and all those guys, and we all still close to this day, man. We all stay in contact. Everything is great. And you know, I wish my time could have been a little bit longer, but in Chicago. But you know what? I'm always blessed for the opportunities that I do get, man. And I was blessed enough to be a part of a Super Bowl team playing with Tom Brady to go and get that opportunity. So if I had to leave Chicago, New England would be that one place where that I would want to go to get a ring. So I was blessed to get a ring with them. And you know, I love my time in Chicago, man. And like I say, I'll visit anytime, man, because you know, they gave me an opportunity, man, and I'm gonna always have a place in my heart for the city of Chicago. So, I'm just excited for my guy, man, getting the opportunity, man. It's his time to shine. He put in the work. Now it's just time for him to go out there and prove it to the world, man, that he can do it, and I know he can.
And you know, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about wins. But again, I think he won a lot of people over in the press conference yesterday, and then just the blue collar story and background that he has. I mean, this is a guy that started out as an intern with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
And he risen up the ranks, and he risen up those ranks very quickly because his interning started back in 2008. Here he is 10 years later being named of the new head coach of one of the charter franchises in the National Football League. Jamin, again, really appreciate you taking some time this afternoon. Just a heads up, the show I do with former Bear DJ Moore, it's not just a Chicago focused show, so we're going to have to get you on one of these days very soon to talk about some of the dysfunction that may be going on with another one of your former teams in New England. But right now, we're all happy, and we're all talking about good times with about your former teammate, Matt Nagy, the new head coach of the Chicago Bears. Jamin Elliott, thank you again very much for joining the show on late notice. Really respect you a lot for that, and it was really a great conversation. Really had a lot of fun. Any final words?
Hey, look, let's go Bears, man. You know what I mean? Like it's time, man. And I'll definitely be at a couple games this year for sure. So I'll be back in the city, rooting on my guy for sure, man. So I appreciate you having me, man. You guys are awesome, man. Do a great job, man. So anytime I can help and be a part of it, man, I'm here for you.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Jamin.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
You do the same.